Taurus. So you have the Tower, the Nine of Swords, and then you have the Five of Pentacles. I actually did a part of the video before. It's just that I had to I had to like turn the camera off. I didn't want the phone to overheat. But the point is that you immediately right off the rip, right? Scorpio energy, your opposite zodiac sign, the Tower. And so what I'm seeing here is that there's this misconception that you Taurus used to think about other people in general and dating. And you Taurus are coming to find out from, again, experience and what you've studied based upon what you've experienced, is a lot of the times people are fake. And that you Taurus have actually done more real things than what most people have done, right? You've been realer. And so they'll claim to be real, but you've been realer though. So it's like, compared to you, a lot of people will be fake. You actually will put your money where your mouth is, date people, get to know them, and they'll say that they're looking for somebody to date, but they're actually looking for somebody to live off of. Their ideology of what they think a relationship is a person that takes dysfunction and nonsense and all this other type of stuff and accepts it and tolerates it, right? And they can live off of that person scot-free, as opposed to you realize that that's not reality though. And so the situation for you, Taurus, that's not how you live. That's why you end up being in the crosshairs with other people. See, the Nine of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, you end up being in the crosshairs because you understand that a lot of people are parasites and they're looking to live off of you. The majority of people that you've dated are looking to live off of you. How many times have you been in a situation with somebody where they're constantly asking something from you, Taurus, as opposed to contributing, right? They may not ask for a whole lot other than the immaterial things, right? And you may not ask for a whole lot other than the immaterial things. But it needs to be this whole drawn out discussion because that's how people are. They're not meant to be trusted to that degree, to the point where you have to nickel and dime everything and over specify just so that you can essentially keep everyone honest, right? Otherwise, if you don't have this long drawn out discussion about what the relationship is going to consist of, right? It's this thing where the person will take it too far and now start to take it, off than what it was supposed to be. Now all of a sudden they start looking at it like now they can use you. And you Taurus you've learned that people are not toys, right? So you're not looking to be used, right? You may have used to use people, but you don't do that anymore. And so you understand how dysfunctional that was, and how it went against how dysfunctional and how it actually went against any kind of real progress at all. And so what's going on here with you, Taurus, is that because of that, you don't do it, but you're not looking to get used yourself. Why should you, now that you don't do it and you're looking to be square with people, why is it that you Taurus will put up with that, right? You're not. And so the situation with that is now you have these Six of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, but you can see how a lot of people come to you and they act like you owe them something, right? You want to engage with them, you owe them something, all of this other stuff that doesn't have anything to do with it. And so the situation with that is the Nine of Pentacles is all about how you Taurus are in a place now where you're real, you're doing your thing, you're successful. They're looking for you to live off of you, while at the same time acting like they don't need you. That's the stupidity. It's the catch-22. It's like, okay, they're trying to live off of you while trying to make it look like they're not. And it's like, but this is, again, there's things in life that you can't do something a little bit. You know what I mean? You can't be a little bit conceiving, an offspring. You're either conceiving or you're not, right? Either one. You can't be a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? And so the situation with that is that you Taurus are kind of seeing the juxtaposition of how like it's been flipped. You Taurus, you had to go through these things in your life with others because you were, this is what I've been saying. You're real, but they're not. You're real, they're not. I was talking to this person, and this person was fronting like they invest in tech stocks and all that stuff. And it was like 2 weeks ago you were scared. 2 weeks ago you were scared to put $1 in the S&P 500. What are you talking about? And I doubt, and I very much so doubt that they actually did the research to really do it. Now all of a sudden you invest in tech stocks. You asking me how much I put into the S&P 500. Now you haven't. Come on. You know, I didn't contest it. I didn't give it any kind of contest. Me and the person both know what was really happening because it happened. And so the situation with that is that that's how it is that you know, right? Like a lot of other people will fake. A lot of people get online and they fake, and they like to fake it for the people who watch and everything like that. They think that's going to make them more like popular. And you know, other people play along to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? You know, and so the situation with that is, once again, the Eight of Wands, though. The Eight of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands both represent how. And so this is why a lot of you Taurus should not keep your head down. You should not feel like you got to apologize for being you, or any kind of like little dust up or any kind of like separation that you have with someone is always your fault, or it's always upon you, or something that you've done made you lame or made you goofy or made you fake. That's not true. Because think about it. How many real things have you done? And then when you get to know other people, when you really get to know them for real, you realize that they've been lying about a lot of things. You haven't lied about anything that you told them, but they've been lying about a lot of things. And then the more you catch them in a lie is the more you're like, oh, you a liar. You've been faking and faking the whole time and trying to act like you really are something, but you actually not really that. Like, how many times have you actually caught people? I bet you've been catching a lot more people like that now. As of been the last 2 years, I bet you catch a lot more people not actually making sense and not being consistent with the things that they say, right? Like they're not actually consistent. That's one of the ways on how you know that they're lying. Because 1 minute they're super rich, they're uber rich, they're worth $1 billion. They just don't tell anybody. And the next thing you know, they're asking you for like $10. And then it's like, but don't you have a net worth of $1 billion? Like, if they have so much, why are they asking you for, right? Like, but then they're acting like they don't need anything from other people or whatever. And then you catch them and then you realize, oh, okay, they fake. You know, but then they want to be salty with you and like be jealous. What's up, my love? What's wrong? Come here. Come here, my love. Come here, my love. Come. Oi. There you go. There you go. They want to be salty or whatnot. You know, what's up? You happy, my love? You happy? You smiling? Go ahead and play, my love. All right. So yeah, so they want to play that game or whatever the case may be. All this hair. Anyway. And so the Eight of Wands just represents, you know, you have, like I said, you Taurus have nothing to be like, you Taurus, this should make you Taurus more brave. Because you Taurus understand the degree of how deep the rabbit hole goes of how fake a lot of people are, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you've been finding it out. And so the Fool card and the Hierophant represents they need you. They need competent people in order to survive because they don't know how to do anything. And they don't want to know. They don't even want to know. And so the Fool and the Hierophant represents, what do you feel? Your instincts are telling you, just cut everybody off. Just excommunicate from a lot of the people who you even suspect is really fake because it's too inconsistent. And so the things that the Five of Cups and the Justice right here for you represents how, and so a lot of you Taurus are doing that. You're going to do that. You're going to start doing that. Because a lot of you Taurus are understanding how deep the rabbit hole goes. You're hanging out with so-called friends. They're constantly asking you to pick up the bill, expecting you to pick up the tab. Expecting you Taurus to pick up the tab and all of that. Right? They're entitled. They're talking to you like you did something to them or whatever. But it's this hyper disrespect. It's not just disrespect. It's hyper disrespect. It's like, you doing too much. You taking this too far. That type of like antics, that type of scenario, you Taurus, what that means, because they're doing that because the hyper disrespect is, number one, they're being revealed. Number two, they're trying to get you to not pay attention to the fact that they're fake. So they would rather like beef with you, right? Significant other, no significant other. They would rather beef with you than to understand this outfit that they put on. They only could have afforded this outfit for one time. Or maybe they have a couple of nice pieces in their closet to wear, right? As a part of their clothes and whatever. But they can't actually keep up with that lifestyle. You Taurus can. You actually, and it goes deeper than money. It's their authenticity. They're fake. They're buying what is, I don't know. They're like, again, they're fronting to be something that they're not. They're acting like they can be in a relationship and they can't. They don't know the first thing about that. And you Taurus are starting to realize like, oh, a lot of people do that. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. If you've ever find yourself in a situation where you get your, like the person is like the star, like the person is super cool out in the open, but then like when it's not like this stage, there's not a lot of like, I don't know, people around, and they don't know what to do. They don't have like experience, or they kind of like turn from their public face, right? Like wrestling, like they go from being the face to the heel. Now all of a sudden they're the adversary, or they're adversarial to you. They're letting you know that those people are goofy. They're letting you know that that is them admitting that they're not as fly, they're not as prepared, they're not on your level. And that's the thing that they don't want to accept. They're jealous. This is another example of how a person can date you, or maybe even share genetics with you, or be friends with you and still be jealous. That jealousy got to get out of a lot of people's heart, because it's goofy. And so the thing is that with you is that you Taurus are seeing how goofy it is, due to the fact that y'all are the ones that have to interact with them. You're seeing it first-handedly, how the way that they show their face publicly versus how people in general, that the overall experience that you've had versus how they show their face behind closed doors and when very few or fewer people are around, two different things. And so let's clarify the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is Taurus and Sagittarius put together. Four of Pentacles, the Devil card, Sun card, Judgment, Eight of Cups. Right. You got to look out for you, because you're one of the realest people that you probably know. A lot of people fake. You know how many people who, again, you know how many people who I told, yo, da 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 da, XYZ, da 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 da, scared in a mug. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put $1 in. Now, oh, why don't you should invest in da da da. I do that. No, you don't. Cause 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't. Cause 2-3 weeks ago, you was scared as a mug to put $1 in. You had to have me pep talk you into that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about, right? Like, talking about you put $1 in. Like, you gotta come on now. You gotta, right? But when people are watching, oh yeah, I do that. But oh, I almost said the person name. But you and I both know that you don't do that, though. Me and I both know you don't do that. Because I was there. We were talking. And so because what you got going on is that you're seeing behind the curtain. A lot of this stuff is a facade. A lot of this stuff is you see people acting tough, acting like they got it together. They don't even want to be in relationships. They're looking at relationships like come-ups. That's the thing. That's the linchpin in this stuff. That's what I'm starting to realize. A lot of this stuff is people who are saying that they want this, but they don't even want what they're saying that they want. Right? They can't even handle it. They can't even handle it because they so fake. They just saying it because they want to be seen as normal. They don't want to alert other people, i.e. you Taurus, of how weird they are, because they know you Taurus would be like a bull running away from that kind of house, if you know what I mean, right? From the house, if you feel my drift. Y'all would be like, nah, bull out, Taurus out, cow out, ox out, whatever, bovine out. Right? Because they know like, oh, they so fake. They know that once you Taurus get a sniff of it and you start to see like, okay, XYZ, that's why they'll see. That's what it is. What it is that it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like the twins, right? The Maze twins, right? The Sacred Beast twins, not the Sacred Beast twins, the twins. I forgot the name of the twins from the Yu-Gi-Oh series, right? One supposedly always tells lies, one always tells the truth. But what's happening here is that you have a group, you have like the overall population where you have people who tell the truth, right? Because they're actually experiencing dysfunctional people who are fake and fronting to act like they're who they are. And then the majority of people are fronting like they're real. So everybody is saying the same thing. So it becomes this soup. Everybody is saying the same thing. Everybody is saying that they're looking for a real significant other. One is just that some people are telling the truth. Some people are telling lies because they don't want to alarm other people of their dysfunction. That's what it is. Because if a person wants to tell you, Taurus, I don't really want a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I want to kind of just make something and create a situationship. I want to have it like that. You Taurus would probably be like, no way. And so the thing is that the Judgment in the Eight of Cups represents, that's what you have to tell them. You have to create the judgment. You have to create the ending. Because at the end of the day, you Taurus being real, you can never actually get along with these people for too long amount of time. It's not going to happen. You're real and they're fake. So their fakeness and their bravado, and because one thing that they'll do too is act like they know everything and act like they can do everything, even though they fake. You know, I can fly. It's like, you ain't even got wings. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 27,700. Thank you so much for the subscribers. Thank you for the views, right? Blow the views up, all of that. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Trying to get the YouTube channel, like I said, to 100K, right? And I really appreciate y'all. Also, too, if you want to come through and get a personal reading, the link to that is in the comment section below. Call the Linktree link. Appreciate it, Taurus.